The ugly truth about CPM, what you need to know. In this video, I'm going to explain to you some of the things, and there are many, that make CPM a failed system. And I want it out of schools, I want it out of the Project Management Institute, I want it out of contracts, I want it out of construction. It has no place anywhere in the construction industry. It is an absolutely failed system. And if I could talk to the inventors of it, if they were still around, I would have a very stern conversation about what they have done to really tank our productivity in construction. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you specifically about the reasons that it's a failed system, so stay with us. All right, so let's go ahead and start. Number one, and I can verify this, I've created dozens of CPM schedules and I'm an expert on it, and I still think it's horrible. Whether it's the superintendent or the scheduler, there's one person building this, I want you to know. And then by the time you get to a certain amount of activities, typically I measure in pages, not by activity counts. By the time you hit 5 printed pages of activities, you don't even remember what you put in there. When you have all these activities in a long CPM schedule, if you tie in the logic, it looks like this. Like you don't know, the human brain is not capable enough to understand the logic behind a system like that. And so after about 5 pages, even the person that made it doesn't even understand the system, and let alone anyone else. No one else knows. So one of the biggest problems with CPM is it's created by one person who after 5 pages doesn't even know what's happening. No one else understands the logic. Number 2, humans cannot understand this complexity. We can't look at this and then trace this tie down here and look at this and trace this tie up here and look at this. It would literally take a computer to understand this. Now, some people might say, well, all you have to do is follow the activities and make sure that you're following it. The computer will do the forward and backward pass. But how does the inputs get into the computer right if humans can't understand it? So if it went in wrong, it's going to come out wrong, and it doesn't matter what a computer can do to show you or filter out what your individual trade activities are by activity code, or to filter it into a look ahead or a weekly work plan. If it's garbage in, it's garbage out. Number 3, CPM is a problem because it looks so complex. Owners get these 50, 60, 120, 200 page schedules and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. It must be accurate because it's so complex. That is not true. It's a mess. And because it's so complex, you can't see the mess. So one of the biggest problems that I have is that people will blindly follow this because they're like, oh my gosh, that activity is down to the day. It must be accurate. In fact, some clients out there in the industry are like, oh my gosh, I got this 50-page schedule from our contractor and they're submitting on this project. They must know what they're doing. No, if you see a scheduler or a superintendent or a PM making a detailed schedule in the proposal phase, you automatically know they have no idea what they're doing. Number 4, CPM hides the plan, right? If you see a tact plan and you're like, okay, the foundations go to the superstructure, go to the interiors, go to the exterior releases this releases commissioning. Like you can see everything on one page easily, right? When you're looking at a CPM schedule that's printed out in 500 million, billion, trillion, gazillion pages, you can't see what in the world the plan is. I can see exactly what's going on. This is when we kick off the structure. The structure then kicks off the interiors. The exterior has to be done by this. This is when fireproofing is done. This is when we're ready for commissioning. You can see everything intact right away. You can't see anything in a CPM schedule. It hides the plan. Number 5, CPM has too much unchecked power. So right now, from an owner standpoint, they use CPM, then that goes into our contracts. In CPM, it's a part of the government. That's a requirement for the government. It is used in reference to the Dalbert standard in legal cases. So it's used there. You are contractually required to pass that on to your trade partners. They're locked into CPM. Everybody is locked into CPM, and in the CPM system, you cannot flow, you cannot use buffers, okay? You cannot get time impact analyses, time extensions, unless it's on the critical path. It forces you to hurt people. I won't X this out because it does that. It has a lot of unchecked abusive power, and because the owners, the contracts, the government, the legal system, trade partners, everybody's bought into it, it has too much unchecked power. Number 6, in a CPM schedule, when you identify your critical path, first of all, if you're going to have true CPM scheduling, you cannot have a delay in one of these other activities and get an extension or additional costs for the delay. You cannot submit an impact because it's not on the critical path. You also do not have buffers at the end of the production plan. And because there's a critical path with no buffers, you will hit delays along the critical path because this is construction. Common sense would tell you you can't have a perfect scenario. You will overrun and the owner will make it your fault. So they will not give you the time extensions, they will not give you buffers, and they will blame you when it goes wrong. If my wife, every time we went to Hawaii, packed a baseball bat in her bag and beat me over the head with it, I guarantee you the next time we go to Hawaii, we're not bringing that bat. And that's why I don't understand why, from an analogy standpoint, why builders keep letting CPM get into the contracts, because every job they get beat over the head with it. We've got to pull that contract provision out and stop letting the owners abuse us with it. Number 7, it hides problems, real problems, and notifies us to a lot of fake problems. So in the overall CPM schedule, you've got slippage reports, we've got float trends, we've got the critical path analysis, we've got all kinds of things to tell the contractor when they've overshot the actual end date, but never in any one of the reports can CPM tell you what to do about it. It's always add more labor, add more money, work more overtime, overburden resources. All of those are proven to actually make it worse and extend the project. In the TAC production system, there's at least 12 key strategies that you can use to recover your project without ever hurting people. What's funny about this for number 8 is that you have schedulers now that are hired to manage this really cumbersome schedule, manage the reports. Now you have owners reps that tell you that you're behind schedule, more owners reps to tell you to hurry up, people from a legal analysis standpoint, companies that are paid to do a forensic analysis of this, lawyers that love this because they can argue cases in this non-transparent system. And to make a long story short, you've got people upon people upon people hired, all of these wasted positions, wasted paperwork, wasted reports, wasted effort that don't make a darn bit of good for the project site ever, that is literally just wasting our time with nonsense and taking the project team away from what they should be doing. I've already said this, but number 9, because you have a forward and backward pass in your CPM schedule, even though the project's capacity is a certain amount, because of the forward and backward pass and the early starts and things like earned value management, where you're incentivized to spend more money earlier, instead of maintaining your work in process per capacity, we actually go over, and CPM incentivizes us to be over. And what happens when you increase your work in process is you actually overshoot and you extend the project. Anyone that knows anything about production theory knows this. One of the things that I absolutely hate about the CPM system is that when it is scheduled, you can have multiple trades just stacked. And yes, you can identify this with activity codes. Is it practically done? No. Do people just use this as an excuse to win an argument with me? Yes. So in a CPM schedule, instead of having the trade partner run out with a beautiful flow like this, they attempt to stack the work. This is impossible. It will end up going back to the original production rhythm plus the waste that they have from trying to actually accomplish the deadline, and your actual line of balance will be much worse. Even if the trade partners could do this, this overburdens and hurts people. And one of the last ones that I want to talk about is that because every week you do not have fixed dates that are coordinated with the trades, it will move forward, it will move back. So the start dates, the production targets, the required on job for materials are always moving back and forth, which creates unevenness, stops and restarts. I am just barely getting started. I could continue talking about this forever. There are so many different reasons why CPM is a failed system, and I want to create this video so that you have some awareness and you can start to dig in yourself and find the other 50 things that are wrong with the system. There isn't a single thing that will not hurt your productivity on your project site, and I figured you ought to know about it. And as a free gift in the description below, I'm going to give you a beautifully formatted Canva document that lists out all of the things that are wrong with CPM so that you can have a better awareness and prevent any failures on your project, and you'll be able to use it and see the other things that might possibly be hurting you. So that's going to be in the description below. I'm super stoked for you to have it, but there isn't a single thing about the system that won't hurt you. And if you want to do planning right, reach out to us. We can help you at any time. But ultimately, I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.